Coverage of the Central Kansas Free Fair Parade is brought to you by Farmway Co-op, CTI Concordia Tractor Incorporated, Joe Snuffy's Bar and Grill, Pioneer Farm and Ranch, Memorial Health System, Midway Bar and Grill, Abilene Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab, Great Plains Federal Credit Union, American Family Insurance Agent Brian Teichman, Corey Powell Farm Bureau Agency, Almost Home Realty, Geary Community Hospital, M&M Tire and Auto, Abilene Rental and Sales, Tossed and Sauced Pizza, and Eagle Communications.
And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Eagle Community Television's coverage of the Central Kansas Free Fair Parade live from downtown Abilene. This is Brian Dennett along with Larry Avery and our producer, cameraman David Hawksworth. And as you can see coming down the street, we have the colors of the United States of America. And Larry, that's Bob Martell, famously known as Disco Bob, carrying the United States flag. Bob is a proud supporter of Dickinson County activities and a true representation of patriotism.
Bob's a longtime resident of Abilene. You'll see him around a lot, and he is truly one of our best representatives of patriotism right here in our hometown of Abilene.
And as so often the case, the colors go by, and then we have our Abilene Police Department and Sheriff's Department actually combined following up. They are walking the street in black uniforms. I've always felt bad for them during the hot months of the summer wearing black uniforms, but it's nice to see a nice showing of support and solidarity for our police department and our sheriff department. And the parade committee did decide to put them at the beginning of the parade to show their loyalty to the departments in support and appreciation of the heroic jobs they perform every day. We certainly want to also send our thank you and our appreciation to the Sheriff's Department and the Police Department.
Hi. Thank you.
All right, we have now the Mounted Flag Corps. The Mounted Flag Corps is made up of 4-H Horse Club members and leaders. Linda Bankies carries the United States flag, and the other members are carrying the Kansas flag, the CKFF flag, Wild Bill Hickok rodeo flag, 4-H flag, and the FFA flag. Beautiful animals. Bravo Battery is coming up next, local Kansas Army National Guard from Abilene. The Field Artillery Unit is working with the Palandine Howitzer weapon system. Most recent developments for the Abilene unit in 2014 to Iraq and 2009 to Egypt. And those were deployments instead of developments. And a beautiful motorcycle they've got going along with them, National Guard.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Looks like our Grand Marshal's coming up in a bright red Corvette. What a way to take a ride through the fair parade. And Joe Minnick is on board this year as our Grand Marshal.
Now is this Pete Shank, sorry. Pete has been an active supporter and participant of the parade for nearly 30 years. And for those of you who have watched Eagle Community Television, we've done a few things with Joe Minnick, did a piece with him and all the guys that work on the antique locomotive. And that locomotive is actually going to be running during the next upcoming event we have here in Abilene, which is a celebration or kind of a practice celebration to the 150th anniversary of the Santa Fe Trail.
You can hear and see in the background our first entry of parades, and as they come our way, I'd like to recognize some of our sponsors today. American Family Insurance, Brian Teichman Agency. Pursue your dreams, he'll protect them. And then also the folks at Abilene Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab, helping our community move well and live well.
It's amazing how well the band sounds this early. They're not even in school yet. So they've had to come in on their own time during the summer and practice and get ready for this. The AHS dance team would like to invite everyone to the AHS athletic and extracurricular events. The dance team will be at all football and basketball games for your halftime entertainment. And the Abilene High School Marching Band is under the direction of Aaron Tompkins and is the largest band in history with 125 students. Looking forward to marching in the Chicago Thanksgiving Parade this year. And now we have some representatives of VFW posts, 3279. All right, coming up next is the AHS Activity Float.
Getting a jump start on the season with Abilene Spirit.
All right, coming up next is the AHS Class of 1976. Members of this class have traveled the trails and rails to celebrate and share their 40 years of tales. This is the bicentennial class, and they are still proud of the legacy, and they are looking sharp in red, white, and blue. Obviously, this class knows how to kick off a reunion. Welcome home, Class of 76. And following them is the American Legion Riders. Post 39 American Legion Riders are the veterans-based organization whose mission is to support veterans, families, and active soldiers. And following them is a float for the American Legion riders.
I'd like to recognize a few more of our sponsors that made today's broadcast possible. Include Great Plains Federal Credit Union, placing people before profits, and the folks at Memorial Health System, celebrating the heritage of Abilene. Memorial Hospital has served the community for 94 years.
All right, coming up now is the ISIS Shriners. They serve north central and northwest Kansas and are based in Salina. The tradition continues. Shriners help kids. And they always have some glorious old cars, big cars. I'm sure those things just glide on the highway. That's a group that does a lot of good work around the area. And then up the street there is Larry's little red Corvette,
Yeah,
I guess.
There you go. That's about my speed. You got it. Yeah. I don't know if we're lining up for a race down here or what's getting ready to happen here. Oh, we need a little bit of a push.
Getting a bit of a push start from the John Barker group.
I hear some activity there. It looks like we're about ready to be off and running. John had to give it a kickstart.
And there we go, John Barker, and he is running for the Kansas House.
Hi. Oh, we haven't fun yet.
Hi. He's got a large group of people helping him, supporting him, and
Candy throwers of all ages, and
they help get the Shriners' little car going too.
there you go.
And this looks to be the Grant Township Fire Department, and we'd like to thank them for their support. And hold my ears, because sometimes they honk that horn. That horn is loud. You hear that horn coming, get out of the way.
We appreciate them always being there and on the ready.
And right behind them is the Dickinson County Democrats marching in the parade for Joe Schwartz. Joe is also running for the Kansas House, the 70th District. This is the time of the year that we get to see a lot of people in parades looking for votes. It's a lot of fun to see them and appreciate them coming out and walking the parade route. Hey. Hey.
I'd like to recognize some of our sponsors. Big thank you to Farm Bureau Corey Powell Agency. We make insurance simple and proudly support Dickinson County 4-H. And Almost Home Realty Shelley Crane. It's only a house until we make it your home.
Right here, Levi Morris, Kansas Senate, 35th District in our parade. And then down the street we have Don Merriman. I'm from Salina. I know Don. He is the elections official over in Salina, but now he's running for the Kansas Senate 24th District on the Democratic ticket. And of course, that's Abilene and Saline, or Dickinson and Saline County. I think that's going to be a pretty big election this year. And now we're seeing some motorcyclists, and I believe these gentlemen have something to do with the rodeo.
I believe so. At this year's rodeo, you're going to see something extra special from these guys.
That was Cowboy Kenny's Steel Rodeo. They perform motorcycle events. And then we have a number of our clowns from the rodeo coming through. And then behind them is Brooke Wallace, Miss Rodeo K-State. She is from rural Solomon and Solomon High School graduate. She was selected Miss Rodeo K-State for 2016. And her horse is incredibly well behaved because those motorcycles are buzzing right around her. Those clowns are funny, but boy, they do an important job tonight at the rodeo.
Yeah, those cowboys really appreciate them.
All right, we have the royalty from the 2016 Central Kansas Free Fair. These are two people we interviewed earlier today. And of course, that was the king and queen that went by. And then we have some of the other royalty from this year's parade, or this year's fair, that is. They brought umbrellas. They were smarter than we were.
There you go. You got that part right.
All right, behind them is the 2015 Central Kansas Free Fair royalty. And now we have Foley Equipment. Foley Equipment. Following right behind. They have a 140 N3 motor grader, new model 926 wheel loader, new model 45 F2 industrial backhoe loader, a 26-2D skid steer, and a T37 or T370 Kenworth field service truck. And I said that just like I know exactly what these things are.
All I know is big equipment for big jobs.
Impressive things. That's the one I like to see taking care of roads during the winter time.
Yeah, I like them to come by my place early, right after a snow.
Once again, that's Foley Equipment. Next, we have Almost Home Realty, located in Abilene, and they're all about building relationships and educating buyers and sellers. Shelley Crane and her team at Almost Home Realty will go above and beyond. And coming up right in front of us, I think we're going to hear them play the AMS Band. They look sharp in their orange shirts.
Would also like to recognize as a sponsor Joe Snuffy's Old Fashioned Grill. Nothing fancy, just great food, celebrating 15 years. And also the folks at Pioneer Farm and Ranch, your one stop for farm, ranch, and home, open 7 days a week.
All right, here we got the Spirit of the Chisholm Trail. Next year will mark the 150th anniversary of the Chisholm Trail. Abilene is planning a celebration during Labor Day weekend 2017 for Trails, Rails, and Tales. This is your invitation to see longhorn cattle, listen to cowboy country singers, play Western laser tag, watch the gunfighters, and satisfy your thirst at Bull's Head Saloon. See you there. And again, I said 2017, that's when the official one is. This is the event we're having this Labor Day, is the event we were just talking about. And it's going to be kind of a practice. Uh-oh, who's this over here? Oh no, this is going to be a practice for the event. And this guy knows how to rope. He's not just joking around.
Yeah, have him pick on somebody else.
All right, Rawhide Portable Corral's up next. And they wanted to they wanted to welcome the contestants in the National Cowboy Poetry Rodeo that just came through. They're going to be competing this week at historic Shockey and Landis Building in downtown Abilene. Come on to see the show Saturday at 4 o'clock. This here's a local business, kind of quiet about it. You wouldn't know about it, but boy, they sure made a big national splash.
They do business all over the country. Tremendous local organization, company, manufacturer right here in Abilene.
You haul those things out. You don't need any help. You can fold them out completely into a corral. You can work cattle or any kind of livestock by yourself.
One-man operation.
And again, started and built here in Abilene. There's a little cowboy. All right, and here come some of our friends from Abilene Rental and Sales. We're actually borrowing a scaffolding for our camera location this year. They have 41 years of service to the community. They are a sponsor for Wendy Zimmerman, chainsaw artist. They sell and service Cub Cadet, Echo, Husqvarna, and Toro, and contractor equipment rental.
Serving the area for 41 years. That's a long time.
No, that's okay. And coming up, we have Home Automotive Center, located right here in Abilene. They welcome you to the Central Kansas Free Fair. Please stop by and see them at the fair or at the dealership. They have new and used vehicles, full service department. You come over, and I get to say this, Larry, you'll be glad you did.
There you go.
That's the only time I ever dare say that. Because that belongs to Tim.
Yeah, and the good news is, that's a fact. You'll be glad you did.
Well, they have some beautiful cars, too.
Oh, they do. They got a great lineup of GM cars and trucks.
Anymore, they have such a wide variety from a kind of a small car to these cars here, which are, I don't know if they're kind of not an SUV, but boy, they sure set up nice. And
well, we went from a world of cars and trucks to SUVs, and now we've got crossovers and all kinds of variations of automobiles. We'd also like to recognize another one of our sponsors this year for the parade, and that includes Farmway Co-op, a farmer-owned cooperative with locations throughout north central Kansas since 1911.
Hey, right here we have Abilene Animal Hospital. And it looks like their entry has to do with the orphan train. And I believe trains had something to do with this year's 4-H fair theme.
That's right. That's exactly right. And they're tying right into the theme. Lots of kids involved and having a good time. And I see Dr. Gose even has a little rider with him. Got a young man and then also a little furry character. Now I think that's what you could call a hot dog.
Ah. Following them up is the animal health people from Memorial Health System. Every year they come through and they're handing out water to the crowd. It's a wonderful event. They celebrate the heritage of Abilene and those who rode the trails and the rails, the cowboys, heroes, and legends. Memorial Hospital has served the community for 94 years. And thanks to the Wild Bill Hickok Rodeo for bringing such quality rodeo to here. The folks here in Abilene. Every year I wonder how many bottles of water they go through.
Oh yeah, today, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
All right, here is Home Health and Hospice of Dickinson County. They thank the Wild Bill Hickok Rodeo for 71 years of great service.
Another critical part of our Memorial Health System here in Abilene.
And here's another component of Memorial Health System, Village Manor, located at 705 North Brady here in Abilene, Kansas, have the spirit of the Chisholm Trail pioneers. The spirit of freedom lives on at Village Manor. Wonderful pictures there.
Oh yeah, that's a great entry.
All right, here's Don's Tire. Their 34th year in business in Abilene, Don's Tire offers service and sales on anything from lawnmowers, ATVs, passengers' cars, light trucks, all kinds of vehicles. They are an independent tire dealer. They keep the largest stock of anybody. And then following them up is, right here on the next page, Tri-County Telephone and Nextech Wireless. TCT and Nextech Wireless are here to help you with unlimited talk, text, and data. Stop by their location at 120 Northeast 14th Street, just up the street from us. Say goodbye to being just a number and hello to something different.
We'd also like to recognize as one of today's sponsors, CTI John Deere. They're your local John Deere dealer, and they have the right equipment, big or small, to help you get the job done.
Well, the parade's been in pretty good order so far. They've only thrown me a couple times. And I see some vehicles coming. Is that New Holland?
New Holland skid loader. We'd also like to recognize one of our sponsors is Midway Bar and Grill, the best stop in Old 40, and also Geary Community Hospital in Junction City. Progressive Healthcare, hometown compassion.
I'll bet this is Can Equip. They're right down here at the bottom of the page. I didn't see them. Your local New Holland dealer. There we go. Locations in Harrington and Clay Center. I think they have air conditioning, Larry.
Yeah, I believe if you've ever been in the cab of one of those tractors, why, they're pretty nice. Great sound systems, good old cold air, and
all right. Okay, right now we have Kansas Best Realty. Kansas Best is a team to call for all your real estate needs, whether buying or selling. They are the top producer in the area. And that's a float, a decorated float. Wonderful job, kids.
That's neat. Kids doing a great job, having a good time, looking good. It's always fun to see floats in the parade, especially when the kids are involved.
All right, KJIL, Great Plains Christian Radio. You know, you're with the family at KJIL. Glad to be part of the Trails, Rails, and Tales. Wonderful group of people we get to work with every once in a while. Yes, it's the Daughters of the American Revolution, and here's another float, Larry. How wonderful. Every 10 years, they're celebrating 100 years. And they got a little one with them, too.
Yeah, that's neat. Good job.
And I'm just going to imagine this is the entry Sons of the American Revolution. Konza Prairie chapter. To belong, you must prove that your ancestors served in the American Revolution. So that's great. That's a good, interesting club.
It's one thing that's so neat about the Central Kansas Free Fair every year is the diversity of all the different entries we have, Brian. It's always fun to see so many things that we often forget about.
All right, coming up next is Community Foundation. They have been facilitating philanthropy, got that one right on the first try, here in Dickinson County since 1999 as the community's charitable giving resource. Good forever. All right, Faith Rocks. Faith Rocks is a youth ministry that teaches children about God with the help of horses. Horses make God tangible for the children and make for a life-changing experience.
I think they're having a good time, Brian. Always fun to see the horse and buggy.
And I believe this is the Mid-Kansas Cooperative. MKC is a full-service farm cooperative offering a complete line of supplies and services for both the farm and urban customers in 14 counties throughout Kansas.
Then we've got a slick old 4020 John Deere.
He's marked as number 48, but 48 is Country Mart, so I don't know that that's exactly what we got, but that's a good-looking tractor.
Yeah, been restored and looking good.
And he's got good old-time air conditioning.
We'd like to thank our sponsors again for making it possible for the Central Kansas Free Fair this parade this year. American Family Insurance, Brian Teichman Agency, Pursue Your Dreams, We'll Protect Them. The folks at Great Plains Federal Credit Union, placing people before profits. And Almost Home Realty, Shelley Crane, it's only a house until we make it your home.
Okay, Larry, his name is Greg Hardy, right? Is it Greg? Anyway, he just won the primary. We saw Don Merriman earlier. This is his opponent on the Republican side for the state Senate. We're going to have new blood in the state Senate. And this year the election happened to fall before the parade. It doesn't always happen that way. But it's good to see the politicians out out among the people like they need to be. This is Webb Home Center. Webb Home Center is in Abilene and Dickinson County's local building supply center, offering lumbering, shingles, siding, doors, window trim, drywall, kitchen, just about everything, and the kitchen sink is, I think, what we need to say. Buckeye Saddle Club, sitting high in their saddles, red shirts ablazing. They were established in 1965.
You know, it just wouldn't be the Central Kansas Free Fair without this entry. You always think of the parade and the Buckeye Saddle Club.
The Tri-County Fair, is that what this is? Free Fair? That's their royalty in the parade. And then right behind them is our 99 kg country truck. Eagle Communications. Salina Radio right there, Salina Post. Followed up by our cable and broadband internet offerings. Covering a wide area, Eagle Communications, our communities connected. I didn't even have to read that off the sheet, Larry. I know that. Right in my head.
And you know what? I think the gang's all here.
It looks like it. You think about it, there's a lot of money in equipment and trucks to do what we do.
Well, we have a lot of key people at Eagle that do a lot of work and get a lot of things done, and we really appreciate that.
And proud of it, too.
Absolutely. We're very proud of it. We'd also like to thank again Abilene Rental, Mark Picking, for helping us out, a little bit of getting us up in the world. So we got David up there on camera. We'd also like to thank the folks at Tostin Sauce, Will and Carrie, for allowing us to occupy some space on their sidewalk and some of their power to help us broadcast today's parade.
I can see a sign that says Komodo Tires. And this is
M&M Tire.
M&M Tire.
They're your Napa Auto Care Center. They're right here in Abilene. If you need it fixed, if you need it repaired, if you need tires, they're the folks to do it. They've been serving the area since 1996.
Okay, Dance Department, Abilene Parks and Rec. The Dance Department is a local studio offering professional training to dancers ages 3 and up in ballet, jazz, lyrical, dance basics, Zumba, and bar fitness, which is not something I know about. So that's a new one for me. Hey, but they got some people, floats,
wow,
flowers.
Looking good. Looking good. Playing some music, doing some dancing, and lots of smiles and some routines.
Right behind them, we have CES Alarms. We work hard to make you and your home comfortable, safe, and secure. And I see people across the street enjoying some of the ice pops that our Eagle people were handing out.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, coming up next, Crop Service Center. Crop Service Center is a family-owned business that has been serving our local farmers for over 30 years. Crop Service is also a proud supporter of our local 4-H clubs and the Wild Bill Hickok Rodeo. And we do appreciate those people that are supporting the 4-H kids. We were out early today interviewing some of those kids about their projects. You're never going to find a more mature, more polite group of kids. They're just wonderful to work with. And of course, we've been doing that for fairs in our entire area, the Ottawa County Fair, Clay County Fair. Ellsworth and Marion. There we go.
Would also like to recognize another one of today's sponsors, which includes Memorial Health System. Celebrating the heritage of Abilene, Memorial Hospital has been serving the community for 94 years.
This is the leadership squad of 4-H, and they pledge their heart, head, hands, and health to bettering the community. And that is their robot in the back of that truck. And if you watch Eagle Community Television, you'll see that robot and understand what it's all about.
All I can say is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool project.
Hey, here's Ike's Place. Ike's Place Bar and Grill in Abilene, and the team members have made a train float this year. Ike's Place is on 14th and Buckeye, right here in town.
We'd also like to recognize Pioneer Farm and Ranch as a sponsor of today's parade, your one stop for farm, ranch, and home. They're open 7 days a week to serve you.
All right, right here we have Hirsch Real Estate. Here comes the crew from Hirsch Real Estate serving all of Dickinson County and the surrounding area. All right, First Bank, Kansas. The Trading Post welcomes cowboys and cowgirls at the end of the long trail. Hi. Hi. This little cute vehicle you'll see motoring around Abilene from Auburn Pharmacy. They have 2 locations on Buckeye and Broadway. Vaccines, free kids vitamins, and free delivery available. All right, coming down the street, we have Great Life Golf and Fitness. That offers golf, fitness, and swimming for low monthly membership fee. Great fun for the whole family right here in Abilene. And they're kind of mixed in right here with Long MacArthur Ford. And he's going to stop while the candy gets picked up.
I say the candy has been flying.
Long Mac with some of their real big vehicles coming in. You can go see Steve Z from Abilene at Long MacArthur Ford Lincoln online at 24/7 at longmacarthur.com. Steve Z is your Abilene connection to Ford cars and trucks.
I think we know that guy, Brian. He's one of us, as they say.
Once again, a line of beautiful vehicles. Okay, not to be confused, this next vehicle is not from Long MacArthur. This is Freddy's Frozen Custard. Freddy Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers located in Salina, the taste that brings you back. That's what we should have for Eagle Community Television right there.
There you go. And that's what you call a lengthy ride. Followed by a cool car.
Now those are beautiful cars. I love those styles. Hi. And what we have here is Vintage Spoke, Abilene's one and only full restoration motorcycle company, offering over 150,000 parts for your vintage bike.
I think didn't we see a sample of their work this morning, Brian? Out at Abilene Rental?
We may have.
I think that little Honda scooter we saw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did the refurb on that.
That was fun.
with a little Trail 70, and how cool was that? It was 46 years old and been restored.
Well, and here comes some of their products right now, too. Along with some really nice trucks. I love those trucks. Now, see, that's the kind of Honda motorcycle that I think about in the 70s when we had motorcycles when I was a kid. In the back of the truck, not the next one behind it. It's kind I'd like to have.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's a motorized bicycle in the back of this one. The Whizzer.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
No, we're good. Thank you.
We'd also like to thank another one of our sponsors today, Geary Community Hospital, Progressive Healthcare, Hometown Compassion, and the folks at Joe Snuffy's Old Fashioned Grill. Nothing fancy, just great food, celebrating 15 years.
Hey, there goes Midwest Concrete Materials. Abilene Noon Lions Club. Lions 91 years of public service and support to the Abilene Public Library. Vision screening for the community of Abilene. And look at this beautiful float coming down. I'm really not sure what we're seeing.
Well,
it's the silly old broads. That's what it is, silly old broads.
As they say, they're back.
They followed some trails, rode some rails, and can tell many tales. For 15 years, the silly old broads have produced some smiles. What the world needs now is more smiles. All right, we're hearing a lot of noise coming from this group. This is Wild Bill's Gunfighters and Can Dancers. They are a 1971 reenactment of gunfighters in the old Abilene town. Can Dancers perform in old Abilene town at the Alamo Saloon. And I think every year they scare me. I'm not expecting those guys to go off. That's a wonderful celebration of the heritage of our area.
Well, you're going to be hearing a lot about that over the next few months and into most of next year. Big things happening here in Abilene.
All right, here's the green team of Clay Center representing a new lineup of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles from the green team. Come see Bill Rice and the green team for all your part service, new pre-owned vehicles, and all on the west side of Clay Center. And boy, Dodge, Ram, and rodeo seem to go together.
We'd also like to thank Corey Powell, Farm Bureau Insurance Agency, where we make insurance simple and proudly support Dickinson County 4-H. Also CTI, your John Deere dealer. Right equipment, big or small, they'll help you get the job done.
I really want to give a shout out to the parade organizers. This has been a great parade. Been pretty much in order, made it a lot easier for us because sometimes we don't exactly know what we're seeing until we look at it on the list.
Well, sometimes there's gaps, and this has just been extremely well organized. Tremendous variety of entries.
And as the parade gets moving again, we have DNR Enterprises Towing and Recovery. For all your towing needs, we are here to serve. Call Dawn or Doug.
If you're headed down 40, Old 40 I should say, the best stop is Midway Bar and Grill. Also like to thank the folks at Farmway Co-op, a farmer-owned cooperative with locations throughout north central Kansas, serving farm communities since 1911.
Whoa, that was a loud one. Hey, we have a white car here from Affordable Autos. They make car buying easier, serving Abilene, the area, for 24 years. Located at 14th and Buckeye.
While we've got a short break, I'm going to remind you that M&M Tire and Auto is a sponsor today. They're the place to go to get repairs, service done, emergency repairs. Trust their team of experts. They've been serving the Abilene since 1996.
I think there's a conspiracy that none of the bands, they always play right down there before they get to us, but the drummers, I've always thought the drummers of the marching band get all the fun because they get to keep playing and everybody has to march to their beat.
Yeah, they do
right
all
here.
the hard work.
Yeah, that's right. Here's the CHS Marching Band. They have received honors for representing the state of Kansas in Washington, D.C. in the summer of 2017 for the National Independence Day Parade. Chapman Band is honored to make their return to the Central Kansas Free Fair Parade. And once again, this is a little bit of summer work for these kids. They're not in school quite yet, but they commit some time of their own summer vacation, not only to be in the parade, but to practice.
That's what's neat about a parade. You hear the music, in this case, in Central Kansas Free Fair, you hear the old Abilene town guns going off, and you hear the horns honking, and just lots of smiles, lots of kids. Just a tremendous event.
And there on the float ahead of them was some of the activities kids that are in the fall sports, riding along in the parade. That Chapman Band sounds good.
They do.
All right, coming up right here, we have Brookdale from Abilene. When you experience Brookdale, you will see that it has much more to offer than just a place to live. All right, coming into view right now is First National Bank of Hope, Harrington and Miltonvale. For 93 years, making many good customers have gone, many good customers have gone down the right trail to arrive at First National Bank of Hope.
Tails on the rails and banking trails is their theme.
Fella. And here we have Dina Horst. She is running for the Kansas State Board of Education District 6. She's a retired teacher running for her second term. Coming up, Marshall Motors. 80 years, Marshall Motors has been taking care of Salina and the Abilene area. Ram and Marshall Motors are proud sponsors of the Wild Bill Hickok Rodeo. I'll take any one of the new vehicles that have driven past us here today. They're all nice-looking vehicles.
Well, we've seen about every style, every color, every size.
Every make and model.
There you go.
And I've never seen a Jeep quite like that one before.
Kind of spinning off the old Willies.
And again, we saw it earlier. We mentioned it when we saw some more Ram vehicles coming through. Ram and Wild Bill Hickok Rodeo. And Marshall Motors is a sponsor.
Would certainly like to here again thank our sponsors that make today's broadcast possible. They include the folks at American Family Insurance, Brian Teichman Agency. Pursue your dreams, we'll protect them. And the folks at Midway Bar and Grill, they're the best stop on Old 40. Along with Abilene Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab, helping the community move well and live well.
All right, City Cycle Sales has been your locally owned dealer in Junction City for over 50 years, providing Harley-Davidson, Kawasaki, and Suzuki motorcycles, ATVs, and watercraft. Central Power Systems and Services. They are now serving Salina and the surrounding area for all diesel engine, transmission, power generator needs. There's some more of Central Power Systems and Services, and I think is that a generator?
Yeah, I believe so.
I haven't seen the inside of one, so I wouldn't know.
That's the...
All right, here's Design Central. They service businesses throughout central Kansas, providing office furniture and interior design services. Known as the Office Problem Solver, they can help your business. And it doesn't say this, but they're in Salina. Stout Service and Sales offer lawn and tree spraying, mowing. They also sell high-quality commercial and residential lawn equipment from Hustler, Big Dog, Walker, and Wright Manufacturing.
Looks like fun, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Until you turn the blades on, you got to mow your yard.
I say, yeah. I wouldn't want to mow my yard. Now here's the point of the show where I say, why don't they make them like they used to, Larry? Because those are beautiful designs. Wonderful cars. Maybe not the most fuel efficient, but boy, good looking.
Yeah,
That's actually H&R Block. Come see us for your personal and business income tax returns. I was too busy looking at their car, I didn't realize they were here for somebody.
An old Biscayne Chevy.
It's wonderful. People can keep those things running, share them with their friends. Behind them is Amanda's Bakery and Bistro. Downtown Abilene, open for breakfast and lunch Tuesday through Saturday. And somebody's here to remind us that the Chapman City Car Show is on Labor Day. United Capital Management, Dustin Chase and Justin Schamberger of United States Management. They have been meeting the financial advice and management needs of Dickinson County for over 15 years. And I'm sorry for this, but I'm enjoying the shade coming from the scaffolding we got from Abilene Rental, and Larry's sitting out in the sun.
That's all right.
This is kind of a new location for us. We're downtown this year. Normally we're up on Buckeye, but we're downtown in front of Tossed and Sauce Pizza, and we want to thank them for providing us some power because we are doing this live on the internet, and we'll be showing it back later on Channel 2. Abilene CPAP Sales and Supplies, and they got a little canine looking out the door. That's a hot dog. And here's CTI, your local John Deere dealer. We have the right equipment, big or small, for maintaining, or driving on the trail. We've got you covered.
And they do. They've got it everything for your yard to the biggest field you can find.
And when you see the green coming, you know it's John Deere.
That's right. Proud to have CTI in Abilene.
And since everything old is new again, that must be their new lineup right there with the shifter.
Yeah.
At their newest tractor right there.
Yeah, there you go. Little retro.
Is this still CTI? Is this... Here's some really nice looking case machines. Is that Bruna Implement?
Yep, Bruna Implement. Yeah,
Bruna
I'm looking for their
Implement.
sign, and it's the big sign, I call it, which is Bruna Implement out of Clay Center, and they also have some other locations.
Those were those red case machines you saw going by. Beautiful machines. That cab is so tall, the girl is standing straight up in it. We're on to Anderson. Anderson Equipment LLC is from Clay Center and is a dealer for LS tractors ranging in models from 23 to 97 horsepower. They're our authorized dealer for Bad Boy Country Clipper mowers. Now this is cute. I'm not exactly sure what we're seeing, but this is awfully cute. And right now coming down is Staven Strutters and Parks and Recreation Summer Baton. And they got a boombox on wheels.
There you go. Take their own dance music with them.
And we have some more vintage tractors on our way. And according to our schedule, that should be Calvin Elliott. Now, Larry, you'll have to help me out. It says it's a 1948 John Deere A, 1944 John Deere B, 1947 John Deere M, all restored by Calvin Elliott. You're going to be the one that has to tell me if I'm right about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna take your word for it. And,
well, we've got signs, so yeah.
I was going to say, and I'm waiting for the signs, and maybe I can get it right. It's always fun to see those tractors. Big shout out to our sponsors. They include Memorial Health System, celebrating the heritage of Abilene, Memorial Hospital, serving the community for 94 years. And also the folks, Farm Bureau, Corey Powell Agency. We make insurance simple and proudly support Dickinson County 4-H. And also Almost Home Realty, Shelley Crane. It's only a house until we make it your home.
And here we go, Law Police. He's running for Congressional District, 1st District, I believe. It's kind of unusual. He's followed right behind by another political person, Derek Schmidt, our Kansas Attorney General. Out walking the parade route. Phillips Seed was established in 1985 by the late Don Phillips. Phillips Seed sells plains tested tough wheat, soybean, corn, milo, and miscellaneous seed to retail customers or through their dealer network. And this is Chisholm Trail Auto, Classic Auto.
It's where you see some of those neat cars you see around town. Come from Chisholm Trail, Classic Autos.
We could pull 3 of those off, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
One for you, one for David, one for me. We might have to wrestle about, I'll take you any of them.
I don't think I'd be too picky. Beautiful automobiles. Wonderful work.
Advanced Motorsports, the official Yamaha dealer of Salina. And those things have just gotten bigger and more impressive. It's 4 seats, mini bikes, everything. Gorilla Guttering is coming up behind them. Seamless Guttering, serving Abilene for 11 years. Republican Jerry Moran, here's some of his supporters. He's a lifelong Kansan, is running for re-election to the United States Senate. He'd appreciate your vote November 8th. He lives by the mantra of Kansas first, Kansas always.
When you get the hungries, would like to remind you of one of our sponsors, Joe Snuffy's Old Fashioned Grill. Nothing fancy, just great food, celebrating 15 years.
Enterprise Estates Nursing Center is coming up next. They are hilltop living at its best. And if you haven't been there, they are on top of a hill. That's an impressive place up there. Dickinson County Farm Bureau honoring the original pioneers of agriculture, following the trails across the trails to honor Dickinson County farmers.
They've done a great job on this entry. That's pretty cool.
That is. Look at that. And it is nice to see people put in some work and have some nice floats. That's fun. Makes the parade fun. Don's Tractor Repair. I'd say Don probably repairs tractors. Good looking tractors there on the back.
Located north of Abilene up on Highway 15. Now they have the big truck and tractor pull every year at the fair, and that's one of the pulling tractors you're looking at, that Ward's model called Monkey Business.
And once again, we'd like to thank Mark at Abilene Rental let us borrow some scaffolding to get our camera location up a little higher for the parade, and also tossed and sauced pizza here at the corner of Cedar and 3rd Street, allowing us to use a little bit of power for our broadcast over the internet. And if you missed this, you're watching the parade back on a tape delay on Eagle Community Channel 2. We did do this parade live over the internet on eaglecomtv.net. We hope to be experimenting a little bit more with that in the future as well. Eagle can be your streaming solution for you, so keep that in mind.
That's a fun truck. Promoting the truck and tractor pull.
We have a number of trucks in a row here. I'm trying to see, what do we have? They're from a dealership. I just can't figure out which one yet. Abilene Car Sales, it looks like. Oh, and they've got a baby.
Brought the whole family to the parade today.
They've got some nice trucks. Right behind them is Kawasaki of Salina. They have new management and a new store selling new and used Kawasaki products, as well as Land Pride mowers built right here in Abilene. And we started our day off here wondering if we were going to have rain, if we were going to have a problem with the parade, but we had just a slight sprinkle, and right now we have, I'd say, mostly clear skies, maybe a faint cloud. Some of the folks here would probably like a cloud or two to come over the sun just to cool us off a bit, but it's probably really good weather for a fair at the beginning of August.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is what you would call typical fair weather.
All right, we have New Hope Church. In this world, everyone needs hope. You're invited to join us at New Hope Church in Talmadge, Kansas. Services start at 9:30 on Sunday mornings. And a number of good-looking tractors coming our way.
And I would call them older than most.
This is Reliable Freightliners. There was a 1932 Silver King. Only about 1,900 were made, very few left. A 1948 Case A stout, powerful tractor. And 1938 D.
Yeah, the Silver King, Brian, you would take a real close look at that. You're not going to see them around very often.
It says very few left.
You bet. That is a cool design. That's fun.
And Holland Industries coming up next, building quality skid steer attachments and metal buildings, proudly built right here in Dickinson County. And Cook Real Estate, serving Dickinson County since 1964, residential, commercial, farm, and rental management. Our excellence is the key to your new home. And Purple Balloons.
We have the whole gangs here, Becky and Greg and Kendra and lots of kids having a good time. It'd be interesting to know, Brian, how many pounds of candy get dispersed and distributed at the Central Kansas Free Fair.
Do the dentists look forward to September filling some cavities?
Yeah.
First Southern Baptist Church right here. following the Trail to Truth, not the tail. Worship times and activities are highlighted there on their float.
That works, doesn't it? Maybe big candy.
Can't leave you out of this, or you.
Thank you.
You can give them a sour or the sweet. Thank you.
All right, Daryl Elder, Lewis and Clark, National Distinguished Service Award in 2006 in St. Louis, Missouri. Since 2000, shown in 12 states.
As they say, have been traveling around.
Hey, here's Alpha Media. Consists of Sunny, KABI, Oldies 98.5, Y93.7, and there's that Y93.7 van pulling their mobile studio. Everett's Incorporated, owners Dennis and Kevin Everett, for all of your aggregate hauling needs. Serving our community since 1941. And Larry, we're getting to the very end of our list, and I can see some flashing lights at the end, so we are close to the parade.
It's been a wonderful parade. Lots of variety.
I bet that big semi is still with Everett's.
That is
I'm just
one
glad
of their slick rigs.
Yeah. Boy, that's silver from front to back. Okay, right now we have the lower smoky wraps. Lower smoky wraps, and environmental services will be giving away a painted rain barrel at the fair. You can visit their booth at Sterile Hall to register. 55-gallon food grain rain barrels ready to install right into your downspout. All right, we're off script now, but this is pretty easy. We have Horizon Farm and Ranch Realty. They got a big sign. We have gutter done, seamless guttering coming up next. And I believe our last entry is Bloomers, and they have something here that says poinsettias available, I guess, in December 1st. And they are showing off some of their wares. And that looks like the end of this year's Central Kansas Free Fair Parade. Larry?
It was a good one, Brian. There's no doubt about it. I'd like to take a moment before we wrap up to recognize our sponsors that make it possible. And whenever you're out doing business, please think of these folks, because they're very important to our community, and they make it possible for us to do the Central Kansas Free Fair Parade and to do the 4-H interviews that we do. And they include American Family Insurance, Brian Teichman, Midway Bar and Grill, the folks at Abilene Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab, Great Plains Federal Credit Union, Memorial Health System, Farm Bureau Corey Powell Agency, Almost Home Realty Shelley Crane, Geary Community Hospital, Joe Snuffy's Old Fashioned Grill, Pioneer Farm and Ranch, the Farmway Co-op Group, CTI John Deere, M&M Tire and Auto, and Abilene Rental and Sales, and also Tosted Sauced Pizza.
A lot of people here this year at the parade enjoying themselves. Hopefully they'll be going out to the fair tonight, enjoying themselves. Rodeo action tonight, Thursday, obviously. and then Saturday as well. Great time to be in Abilene, great time to be hanging around in Dickinson County. We really enjoy the opportunity to bring you the fair, and again, bringing you the fair here live on EagleComTV.net. And of course on Eagle Community Channel 2. We'll be playing it for probably the rest of the month. We really enjoy this opportunity. We really appreciate you watching. And we're going to sign off for the 2016 Central Kansas Free Fair Parade. I want to thank David Hawksworth, our cameraman, Larry Avery, and for Brian Dennett, good night, everybody.
Coverage of the Central Kansas Free Fair Parade is brought to you by Farmway Co-op, CTI Concordia Tractor Incorporated, Joe Snuffy's Bar and Grill, Pioneer Farm and Ranch, Memorial Health System, Midway Bar and Grill, Abilene Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab, Great Plains Federal Credit Union, American Family Insurance Agent Brian Teichman, Corey Powell Farm Bureau Agency, Almost Home Realty, Geary Community Hospital, M&M Tire and Auto, Abilene Rental and Sales, Tossed and Sauced Pizza, and Eagle Communications.